I don't get free because it's a comic because my throat hurts. Second day, whatever. Shut the fuck up. So, this is DMs as of 6 past 6 p.m. on Friday the 18th of November 2022. So, I sent Dylan a video of like a guy. He's got a can of Spam. He cuts it up, puts it on some bread, then some cheese, then some Spam, then some cheese, over and over and over again. And this is what it sounds like. For just for assurance I don't get my video taken down, it's a guy throwing cheese and Spam on bread. But a guy has I don't know what you got on TikTok. I think it's called stitching. On Instagram you would call it remixing, so I'm just gonna call it a remix or a reaction. I remixed it, and because of how it sounds, you know. I said that to Dylan saying media studies. I also sent it to someone else saying 900 mil is 900 mil because the day before we were talking about like if you were offered 900 mil to fucking die, would you do it and who would you do? Anyway, on Wednesday I said to him, "What a monumental fuck up! Why don't you have to download? What don't you have to download from Modern Warfare 2 2022? It's 60 gigabytes on its own. No story, no multiplayer, no Warzone, no co-op. What the fuck is the 60 going towards? I don't know, patches and shit, textures and whatnot, I don't know. I'm playing it right now. I'm not. I have to wait for the multiplayer to download. Why'd you buy it? There's my brother didn't buy it, only downloaded Warzone, but if you still have to individually download everything, then as I predicted in June, the game can fuck off. That's what you gotta do, then fuck the game. I sent him a video of how to 100% effectively riz someone. He didn't like it. He sent me, "The year's 2024. The finale of Stranger Things is airing. Robin Buckley says, 'This is so strange,' and Steve Harrington responds with, 'We've seen Stranger Things.' I punch a hole through my television." I posted on my story on yesterday. I thought it was 2 days ago. Yeah, it was yesterday. Me listening to my friend as they passionately recommend a series that they love. I will literally never watch a single episode of this show. I posted that to my story saying literally anyone I talk to about shows. And actually, him and that other guy proved me right today, because they have a burning hatred for Legends, despite the fact they have never seen a single fucking clip, a single second of Legends, other than when I shown them the clip of Gorilla Grodd going to assassinate Obama. Anyway, Dylan replied to my story saying, "Watch AOT or I will kill you." I said, "I already do." Nah, but finish it, I mean, basically watching Halo. Because I finished Legends today. I'm not going to do an FR until they've decided whether or not to bring it back. Please, games. So I finished it, and I'm watching Halo because Channel 5 played the first episode, and as, you know, so that, like, you wouldn't bring out a streaming service and then have to get people to subscribe to it in order to watch your stuff. So, like, House of Cards did the same thing. They put House of Cards in Skylandic so that they're like, if you like this, pay however many a month for Netflix to watch the rest of it. So they've done that with Halo for Paramount Plus. Anyway, that's the single gayest thing you've ever said. It's just the first episode, then I'll go on to something else. I don't know what, yeah, probably a couple of films. Watch AOT. Not yet. He sent me a horse, like, clattering its teeth. I sent him this. You don't need the video for it, just the audio. Oh, it's been sent really weirdly for some reason. 这是蛋白质超高的哎呀哈，什么呢？这个，对吧？这 Best part about that is that they can't take me down for racism because That would make them racist because that man's not saying the N word. He's saying a word in, I believe it's Korean. The Korean language has a word that's very similar to the N word. I also sent that to Jack, and he said literally me. I also said to him, Incident 7 happened on Friday, just not in the capacity I said it was going to happen in. Friday, as in last week. The other guy I sent that spam to sent me back. Piers Morgan denies being Home Alone 2 Pigeon Lady. Sounds like something the Pigeon Lady would say, to be honest. I finished this days ago. I don't know why. I just keep on forgetting to do the review. But I read 4. Fuck, I have to look up what 4 this is. Hold on. 4. Latverian Prometheus. Just for clarification, the last FR I did for a 4 comic collected 4 601, 603, and 4 Giant Size Finale number 1. Latverian Prometheus collects 4 604, the 606, and Sif number 1. I read that. It's been... Oh shit, I have mobile that on. Okay, sorry about that. It's good, although I don't remember much from it because it's been a couple days and I've been reading it a lot. Like, this was before... Like, you know, did the FR for volume 3. And went on to Latverian Prometheus, read that, which is only like 80 pages. Then I went on to Magnificent Miss Marvel, read volume 2 of that, first issue of the 3rd volume, then second issue of 3rd volume said, it takes place after Outlawed, so I looked up Outlawed. Oh, you need to read Incoming first, read Incoming, then I read Outlawed, and it turns out you need to read the other thing first, which reminds me. Yeah. So I finished as well Champions Volume 4. It's good, although that's all I can really say because I've already said everything that I have to say in the initial review because I didn't have that much left when I did the initial review. And then I also finished Magnificent Miss Marvel, which was good. Don't have much to say though. Actually, it's a shame that like there was a couple things that I would like to see resolved. Well, not really resolved, but like the way that it ended, it was like the evil suit. I know it sounds weird, but if you read it, it'll make sense. But, the suit flew off. It's like, oh, wait, I don't want to die. And Kamala said, oh, she'll be back. And the guy, Amula, whatever. They didn't really explore his character. Wish I could have done that more. Anyway, this is school. Oh, also, I read Spawn / Batman. I'm a little disappointed, but it's still good. Now this is school. If there is anything in mentoring, the teacher got a call. Be like, there's a person who is so untrustworthy, he has to be escorted to the bathroom. And my mentor was the person that has been called to escort him. And it turns out that not him, he did it the last time it happened, but someone has completely kicked the door off of one of the stalls. Yeah. And also, actually, it's in English. The teacher praised Greta Thunberg. Oh, she's such a great person. She's sticking it up against the rich old people. Especially didn't say rich old white men or rich old men, just rich old people. She's like, am I a boomer? Am I not a boomer? I don't know. What even is it? Remember when I said not 54 years old? I said above 54 years old, and by above 54 years old, I don't mean 55. Like I would consider 70 old, because I mean, if people in the 60s kicking ass. And she just couldn't pronounce her name right. She pronounced it like 5 different ways. All of them were incorrect. It was like Finberg, Thunderbird, and I know Thunderbird sounds like something that SNL will do as one of their terrible jokes, but that's honestly something that she did say. And another classmate, you know, typical feminine. The only thing that isn't typical about her is she isn't fat. But other than that, she is your average feminist. Anyway, in media, we went more in depth with AC. It's like, AC conforms to this theory. Fuck you. Leave AC alone. Oh, and he pronounced Aveline the Grand Prix name as like Eveline the Grandper. This Twitter, as of 18 past 6. Kyle Rittenhouse, he's evil, he's evil, he's evil, he's evil, over and over again. See? Combat veteran here, just respect if you arrive into a place where violence is happening, prepared for violence and engage in violence, there is no self-defense. You are, in fact, a willing combatant. If you do this without being sanctioned by a government outside of a combat zone, you are also, in fact, a terrorist. We had another word for armed civilians operating outside the military as well, insurgent. Now, Cat Williams pointed out quite correctly that insurgent is just a word that the government uses to cover up the fact that they're killing children and just innocent people in general. Like, instead of saying, we killed 1 man, 5 women, 20 children, to say we killed 26 insurgents. Anyway, if your recourse to the terrorist is to look up the criminal history of the victims, it is no different than looking up the criminal past of everyone who died on 9/11 in order to justify the hijackers. This kid was illegal all the way around. This shit is ridiculous. Okay, he has a point, but still, I still support Cal. Okay. Some media at an auction just paid over $41 million for this visual abortion. Hopefully the thumbnail will appear. Wait, I've seen that before, like 5 years ago. Maybe some. I'm gonna guess that like the original owner decided to sell it because I've heard that the reason why people will say that something like this is a masterpiece is because of taxes or something, like some sort of tax thing if when you buy art, even though it shouldn't really be classified as art at all. Anyway, I've already said that. I'm looking forward to the media which blamed right-wing ideology for the alleged crimes against Paul Pelosi, blaming progressive ideology for the alleged crimes committed by Sam Bankman-Fried. Should be happening any minute now. G20 breaking leaders have just signed a declaration which states that vaccine passports will be adopted to facilitate all international traffic. Just fucking great. This means any vaccination the WHO determines you should have, changing your rights and freedoms forever. Silence from the media. They don't like people, do they? UK officials are investigating a possible case of Ebola in the country. I want to point out that we never went, well, I don't know if it was here when it was more widespread, but, well, it will be widespread because, I'm not going to be like we all were back when Corona wasn't in it. I was like, that's so far away, it'll never come here. But, like, when it was getting big in America, they never went into lockdown, but with Corona they did. When Ebola is much more dangerous. And also, like, this is just being nitpicky, but like I'm the only person that I think of that still says Corona instead of COVID-19. And there's my video. I mean, there's not really anything that they can shut me down for because I'm not saying anything about the virus. Like, I'm not spouting anything that can be considered a conspiracy theory. Like, this is what's happening. But, like, everyone says COVID-19. The scientific name, Corona, is the household name, I guess we'll call it. And I remember having an argument with a person about this. I said, well, you call it COVID-19, but what do you call Ebola? I call it Ebola. Ebola is the scientific name. No, it's not. Ebola, as far as I know, is the name of a river where the virus was first found. I think it's a virus. I don't know. Anyway, rant over. Hi, it's Taylor Lorenz with the NYT. Can someone please send me the address for the Kids Next Door house, drip crib, girls in the Valley House next, not for publication, thanks. Hi Taylor, not a problem. Hi Taylor. If you're not going to publish the addresses, why would you like them? Because we need the fact check. Every other collab house has provided. Not sure why this is an issue, but feel free to call me. To be honest, it's raising red flags matter. Got it, 2 secs. We also might want to photograph the kids next door, so would need to provide the address and the photo request because it affects which photo we book. Thanks. You can text. Got it. When does the piece go live? Candy House. Kids Next Door doesn't launch until Saturday. Week and a half from now. Okay, thanks. Can you send the address? The only thing holding this up right now. I don't want to just cut you. Thanks, Colin. Taylor Lorenz stalks and defame me in the New York Times in 2020. I'm going to guess this is the owner of Lives of TikTok. She linked to my home address at the time. How she got the address? She told us it was not for publication, but for fact-checking purposes. Only really curious what her explanation will be for lying and doxing. Okay, I don't know what it's not going to say. Fuck wood. At least 32 trans and gender non-conforming people have been killed in US in 2022. The Human Rights Campaign announced Wednesday in its annual report ahead of Transgender Day of Remembrance. Well, I mean, if one trans person dies, even if it's of old age and this person was the oldest person in the world, they'll still be pissed off. An extremely low number and puts the trans murder rate below the murder rate for the general population. Thank you for proving that the hate crime epidemic against trans people is entirely made up and mythological. In just 55 days, Conservatives have done a complete U-turn on the entire philosophy of what the government is about. Bank in Canada has become the first in the country to launch a credit card that tracks a customer's carbon emissions. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. I knew they were considering this, but I was hoping they would have had a little time before they actually implemented it. My concerns that such a scheme could one day be used to restrict purchases. Yes. They're doing that in China already. Footage captured by a thermal drone shows an army of illegal migrants entering the US at Eagle Pass, Texas yesterday, with the reporter who captured the footage noting that it happens every morning. Republican senators, person in Rand Paul, took the heads of the FBI and Department of Homeland Security to task Thursday with Hawley at one point directly telling Christopher Wray that he should have been fired a long time ago. Following reports of a lockout at Twitter HQ and a mass exodus of remaining employees triggered by new owner Elon asking for a hardcore commitment, haters ironically took to Twitter in droves to declare the platform is dead. 2 women tied up and shamed by China Corona security for not wearing masks to collect a takeaway. Shit, libs all supported this in 2020. Despite all the revelations about vaccines and vaccine mandates, globalist technocrats plan to bring back vaccine passports for the next pandemic. Manny made some of the dumbest investments in trading history, and somehow they all paid off. One of the most arrogant and illiterate men in the world who tried to pretend his own wife didn't exist. The grandfather of Wall Street bets, Timothy Dexter. 2,000-year-old preserved the loaf of bread found in the ruins of Pompeii. What should Twitter do next?
The most important thing is to be red-pilled and to own the shit out of libtards. The most important thing.
I hope we don't get copied. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel Sungtoss quite funny. Based. I know you're not wrong. It's 42069. Wait, what's that? You want your password reset, right? 42069 is your new password. Do all password resets not have a good one? Bruh. I don't think this is real, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Like, actually, you know what? Elon's sense of humor is like Seth Rogen. You know, let's make a movie about weed. Okay, it was a good success. Fantastic success. Everyone loves it. Let's make another movie about weed. People didn't like it. Let's make another one. People also didn't like it, and over and over.